Alright, looks like we're rolling. Hello guys, Dama.82 here. Just let me get a few things posted, and we'll get started with the stream here. Okay, where am I gonna put this darn thing? Here we go. Alright, so let me just put up a picture here of what I'm going to be building in this stream today. Also need to get my phone where I can see what the hell's going on in chat here. Here we go. Make sure that's turned down so you don't hear an echo. Alright, let's see here. Decorations. I need a hologram projector. And we'll just make this a little bit bigger. There we go. So this picture here is a model of what is this? R-class submarine. If it's about the time frame that Dominion of Dama is supposed to be taking place, as you can see the little flag there, it is it's an American submarine. And that's what we're going to be building today. So, let's see here. By the way, if any of you who are watching this would like to see this all happening live, because there's a bit of a lag with YouTube here, but if you guys want to come over to my Discord and watch this live, I am streaming it from there as well. And you can hop into the voice channels and talk with me directly if you want to do so. Alright, so let's go to new blueprints. We want vehicle. Some of these hulls look new. Okay. Anyway, we are going to be doing a vehicle. And I'm going to look up some of the information on this submarine here. I just want to try to get a rough idea of the shape and size of this submarine here. As built between 1917 and 1919, okay. Just a reminder, the weapons, equipment, and all that whatnot, it's for this custom campaign, it's going to be stuff from about 1890 to 1920. Let's see here. 56.74 meters. Okay. So let's go ahead and put our scaffolding up. Actually need to take that. There we go. 32, 44, 52. That should be 56 right there. I don't really know how wide I want to make this just yet. And trying to find some good pictures of this thing is a real challenge because they're just not a whole lot of good submarine pictures out there, unfortunately. Trying to get an idea of how I want to do the bow of this thing. It's a very interesting shape. So let's see here. Let's start with some metal wedges. I'll bring that about there. I think this needs to be like that. Maybe not like that. Hey, Viz. How are you doing? Right now, I'm just trying to get a shape for this submarine. So you made a sub that was in the shape of a shark. I think I've seen a few of those floating around. Thinking I want to try to do something like that. Where are... There we go. And let's see here. We are going to go ahead and install the torpedo tubes. Oh, hey, how's it going, Mod Deuce? Hey, just to let you know, Mod Deuce, if you want, you can hop into the voice chat on the Discord. I'm in there right now. It's just been so long since I've done one of these streams. I figure it might be fun to try to do one. The thing has a really, really interesting shape to it. Actually, I don't know if I... which light cruiser are you referring to, by the way? I have made so many of those damn things lately, they all just kind of run together after a while. I think... No, that's not what I'm looking for. I need this shape here. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, yeah, no rush, man. Just thought you might want to join. That's no big deal. It's got a really weird shape to it. I keep having to alt-tab out to have a look at this shit. But it's like it kind of flares out right about here for some kind of a deck gun, it looks like. Maybe I just need to bring it a little higher and then have it flare out like this. I think I want to try a different shape here. Something more like so. Actually, what if I did it like this instead? Like all things, I build updates, change most things, and I made the shark not really work anymore. Yeah! Welcome to From the Depths. Where the total amount of fucks that are given by the devs is none. Now, how am I going to do this bit up here? Let's roll that like so. Move it back to about there. Apply. Metal. Triangle. There we go. Uh-oh. Fudge that. Okay. There's like a little gap here. Not quite sure how I did that. Oops. Delete that. Okay. Oh, that's the scaling. Okay. Position. Why the hell is that off? Yeah, I don't know why, but it's like making this weird gap here. I think I might have screwed up something somewhere else. Yep. That was an easy fix. Okay. Well, what kind of stuff do you typically like to build, Viz? I don't think we ever talked about that, but I'd be curious to know. Birded, yeah. Oh, here we go. There we go. And okay, it looks like it kind of comes out like that. And let's see. Let's do like that. Let's see. And I want to go into... Let's check more simple weapons. Nah. I'm not looking for AA weapons. I am looking for... Nope. I think that's the one I'm looking for. Yeah, that'll do. I don't expect it to do much other than just kind of sit there and look pretty. Alright. Actually, that looks like it's a little too close to the front and it needs to be moved way back. Just looking at my example here. Yeah, it looks like it comes back about a third of the whole thing. Right about there. Delete all. And we can pull all that off. And we can pop that dude back off. There we go. And she stays a little fat, it looks like so. And let's see here, I think... Actually, right about here, let's put these... Air... I want metal duct. Now let's bring her back one more. There we go. And let's see here. Now we need... I think right about there will do. And oops. This will help with the PID stabilization. Let's see here. This says, I made a mix of things, a big heavy bomber that is something like a C-130, a jet fighter that is somewhat like an F-16, attack helicopters, AH-1, but with 2 small rotors. Okay? I got a little bit of everything myself, but because I've been playing this since 2015, I think. You get quite the arsenal after a while. Okay, so we got those installed. Now it looks like it might get a little bit wider as it comes back from about this point here. Actually, let's leave that for now. And probably do something like that. And then just have it kind of taper off as it goes further back. I'll probably do. Making the attack helicopter fly was interesting, but an update completely ruined it. Yeah, sounds about right. Them guys can be like bulls in a china shop. About there I'll probably do. Actually, the base of that needs to be a bit bigger, but it'll be fine. Trying to think of how I want to try to integrate this shape a little bit better, but I'm not entirely sure just yet. They do still have PIDs, but they got rid of the AI PIDs, I believe is what you're thinking of. And I think I want... I kind of want to make this like gradually get wider here. But, you know, weird thing about helicopters is they're not really that much different from building hovercraft or submarines. It's kind of the same principles. You'd kind of want it to hover, but like instead of hovering above the water, you have it hover in the water with the submarine. So not too awfully different. At least I don't think so. How do I get... I think this needs to come back to about there instead. We'll put a... what was that? 4-meter oblique in there? Okay. No, I used to give the devs a lot of shit back in the day, and then I just realized one day it wasn't doing me any good. All it did was just piss me off and make me more miserable. And then one day I just realized I didn't want to be Angry Dama anymore. There we go. Tail rotor controlled the pitch while the two side rotors did lift, forward movement, and yaw. So it wasn't... okay. Was it like a tilt rotor, was it? Alright, let's see here. I need sub-object, and I need a one-axis turret. Oh, okay, it was a VTOL. Gotcha. Let's see here. I want to see how high this is going to extend. Or where it's going to look like when it's fully extended anyway. We can max out that extension velocity. Alright. We're going to be putting a detection system. Okay, I get you, it does. Imagine it probably looked like some of the stuff that the Steel Striders used. That's kind of what your description sounds like anyway. Let's see. Actually, let's do 3-meter oblique. Yeah. And let's see here. Oblique corner, 3-meter. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And that I actually need like... Actually, I'm thinking 2-meter might work better for this. Just to kind of keep it a bit more clean looking. I just really need it to be able to look out frontwards. It would just be easier to show you a screenshot. I think I still have that in the folder somewhere. Okay. Here, now I gotta make this look like a periscope. Shouldn't be too horrible. Of course, I say that. There we go. And we will do that and that. That and that. Alright, let's add a new decoration. I just need a pleek. Not quite. Can I just have like an oblique panel, like 1-meter oblique panel? There, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so we're gonna pitch that forward. We're gonna bring that up like there. And let's see, how do I want to do this? Corner pipe. That's what we're looking for. And let's see here. We want to blow it up a little bit. Forward, backward, and left and right. There, that looks a little bit more like a periscope. Okay, let's see here. Let's get a couple of ACBs in here. I think just like here and here ought to do the trick. Oh, wait. Silly me. I gotta be building those onto the actual thing itself. That's something that kind of drives me crazy sometimes, is I'll be like building off of a spin block and or a turret and completely forget, and then I'll like place a whole bunch of crap, and yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Let's see here. think I made this bit just a little bit too thick. And we'll still need to fit some kind of an engine in this silly thing. Still need to come up with a torpedo type for this. I am thinking high explosive frag. Let's see here. You also made a tank. Actually, I've never had any problems with having too much heavy armor on a tank. Why do you say it had too much heavy armor? I mean, you can practically make those like entire bricks of heavy armor. Maybe you just needed to adjust the wheels a bit? Because that is a problem that I've encountered a few times, where it just like sank really, really low, and I just basically maxed out the compression. I mean, not the compression, but the pushback on the springs, for lack of a better term. I'm not entirely sure what the correct term is for that, but it seemed to help with the heavy armor there. Oh, it was the cost. Okay. Well, that's understandable because that shit gets expensive. Except nowadays it seems like it's not horrible in the sense that I'm trying to think how to word this here. It's not horrible in the sense that it's hard to find materials. That's something I just don't understand with a lot of people, is they complain about costs all the time, and I don't know, I just don't have that much or that many issues trying to find materials in from the depths. I just don't. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. Would be the first time I've been accused of that. Let's see here. I'm debating if I want to put railings on here because it's just going to look freaking weird with the lower bits of the rails hanging out like that. There's not really a good way to do that. Over the volume limit? Yeah. That if you build for ashes, yeah, that's an easy problem to run into. You know, I could probably live with that. Yeah. And I think I want to redo this bit up here. Maybe. If I do something like this, I think. What kind of AI were you using in that? And Was that like just the standard tank AI, or I'm just asking because I came up with a few methods to make tanks a bit better. At least in my opinion, they're better by coming up with some. Try to make a front sider AI work for it, more or less, is what happened. I was very pleased with the results. Okay, 2.0, so yeah. I like to use like a some kind of a front sider AI configuration for them. It's very, very handy. Okay, so that's all looking good. I know that back then you could use like a airplane AI to try to make it. How should I put this? You could make it into a front sider back then. One of the guys I know from for a ways back goes by the name of Clan Rogue. I done a some stuff for him on his Cold Seas custom campaign. I don't know if you guys would be familiar with it or not, but pretty solid guy. That he showed me a way to make a forward-facing tank AI that probably would have been compatible with that version. This has such a weird stern on it. It's like the back just kind of drops off. I don't know how to describe it. Actually, might just be easier to show you guys. This little bit right here, I'm still trying to figure out how to make that shape. Other than that, I think it's going alright. Let's, yeah, bring it a little further out. I think it kind of does a little something like this. Very strange shape. There we go. It's also done some testing, some weird weapon system that I still haven't seen anyone else try. I think we all have those mad scientist moments, to be honest with you, Viz. But would you care to elaborate? I'd be kind of curious to hear about your experiments. actually, this might not be a bad place to put some turning thrusters. No, I need the little ones. No, 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 no. There we go. And I can just put decorations over that. But yeah, the rudder for this thing is like super weird. I did have one very interesting invention that might be along those lines. I had it was like a burst fire continuous laser. It did like 300,000 damage a shot and had like a recharge time of about 15 seconds. It's pretty nasty. That seems like an awfully small propeller for such a big submarine. I'm debating if I could live with this or not. Let's see here. I'll probably do some kind of mimic fuckery around in here. Sometimes in From the Depths you kind of just have to settle for close enough, unfortunately. It's not how mirror line works, but okay. They call me crazy, but it should be mirroring that shit. Let's see here. Triangle. Triangle. Actually, that seems a little big. I don't like it. I think if I go like... How am I gonna do this shit? Made a mine dispenser that would sit on the sea floor and spread them over a wide area to cripple ships coming into the area. You know what? That sounds familiar from a few things that I developed. One of them was actually more like a nuclear mine. That thing was super fun. Basically, what it was a well, it had the harpoons or harpoon torpedoes that it shot out, and it had a nuke attached to it. It had like some lead on it, so it'd sit on the seafloor, and it would get snatched up by a passing ship, and boom goes the dynamite. That is looking weird as hell, but I think I can live with it. Quite the challenge trying to recreate the shape. I don't entirely like how that part looks, though. But yeah, this mine, it shot out torpedoes with harpoons, and it had like some nuclear or tactical nukes on it. Pretty nasty stuff. Alright, let's see here. Let's set this up. Pistons. Condition. Actually, I think I want to do a kind of a several conditions here. I want enemy range. Just want to max that out. Yeah, let's see here. I want to do vehicle altitude. If negative 1,000 and negative 12 meters, I think, probably work for this. Target action, okay. We want this to, yeah. You know, we could probably remove this wood gantry here. So Vince, let me ask you something. Do you play in the current version, or what version are you playing in, if you don't mind my asking? Can it fit? Yes, it would fit in there. Okay, good. I'm going to be putting some prop back here. Let's see. Yours didn't have nukes? Yeah. Dispensed mines of multiple rings have got more. Okay. Yeah, I can see how that would be a lag magnet, yeah. And somewhere in here I'm going to have to put some roll thrusters. Guess this place is as good as any. Alright. Let's see here. Water. There we go. We'll come back and hide these with some decorations here after a bit. Oh shit. What? Okay. Let's see here. We want roller preset spread to neighbors. And I need a few more of these ACBs for the periscope. Let's see here. Condition. Enemy range. And let's see here. Let's go to piston. Let's have it set the extension to 0%. Wunderbar. Okay. Oh, I need to move these ACBs, I just realized. So I made a boo-boo. Width, height, length of 2. I'll just move you guys back over here instead. Alright. And we want to put a local weapon controller here. That should do. Haven't played in a while. Just get bored with it, or got sick of the updates, or all of the above. All perfectly understandable, mind you. My excuse is I had to scratch the building itch somehow. And this is cheaper than a wood shop, which is something I might want to try to get someday. Because Dama loves playing with his wood. Let's see here. How do I want to do this nonsense? Let's just do an all-in-one for that guy. And it's here. A little of everything. That's understandable. Like I said, I enjoy building things, and I think I enjoy doing that more than the campaigns because, well, they're garbage, even though no one has the balls to say it. So that's kind of why I'm doing this custom campaign thing, because it gives me an excuse to build all kinds of cool things. Keep me building at least. Alright, so I need some behavior expansion cards. I want target prioritization, aim point selection. We want this guy to go for slightly bigger targets. The closest, the lowest, and the slowest usually. And let's see, up here with this deck gun. I don't want it shooting at anything less than 10 meters below the surface. Range bracket, don't really care about that shit. Altitude bracket, not too worried. Maximum speed, not too worried. Oh yeah, Vorian's got some pretty good build mechanics. I've built a few ships in that as well. Now let's see here. I need missile parts. One, two, three, 4, 5. Some big old torpedoes in this sumbitch. Yeah. A destroyer in Avorion? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Controller. AI, local weapon controller. Oops, didn't need to take that out like that. There we go. Right, that will connect like that. There we go. AI, put a wireless receiver on you. Yeah, try to go for targets below the water, please. Clusters of blocks, and let's go just max this out. I think me and Ion were trying to do a let's play of that multiplayer, but then update came out and I think we just kind of lost interest after that. Now it looks like this thing does have some like fins on the front of it. Some shit like this. Do we have anything like that on the back? Nope. Okay. Oh yeah. I forgot I need to set some more presets for this. And this thing still needs an engine. It needs that and several other things, but we'll get to them. Let's see here. At least the AI is super small. And we'll just pop that on there. I think we'll try to bulk up the armor around this just a little bit. They do have some interesting 40k designs up on the workshop that I've seen for Avorion. Really cool stuff. So I've kind of lost interest in 40k there for a while because their business practices as of late have been kind of shitty. Just personal opinion. Take that however you want. A lot of it looked like corporate bullying to me. Okay, let's see here. Actually, I'm thinking I might need to move some of these ACBs, like these guys once again. I think I still got the same prefab for it. We'll just pop them in here. Get rid of these damn things. There we go. Water, let's put some hydrofoils in this. Warhammer's got a lot to it, so I can't say I blame you. There's tons and tons of lore and whatnot behind it. It is not for the faint of heart. Okay, so I kind of want to use this area for an engine. And I think I'm just going to go with a low RPM. Just alt-tabbing out for a sec here. Okay, I hate it when people ping me in servers that I'm barely even active in. Let's see here. How do I want to hook this shit up? Probably like so. Do I want to put more cylinders down here? I'm kind of tempted to put more cylinders down here. Let's do that then. Let's see. Alright, let's start running all this pipe. Dama likes laying some pipe. This thing should be pretty efficient. I guess it doesn't want to connect to those. Okay. So how am I going to do the exhaust for this shit? Probably like so for starters. And let's... No, I can't do it that way. I have to go like this, I think. So Viz, I'd like to get your opinion on something if I could, please. One of the guys on the Dominion of Dama Discord, Corolla's, been a pretty good buddy of mine for a while. He wants me to start doing my build videos in real time. I would like your thoughts on that. If you think that would be preferable to the time lapses that I've been doing. I wouldn't have a problem with doing it. I just don't think people would want to like sit through like hour-long videos of me just building shit, but I'd be willing to try it. This thing still needs to have some ammo, but we'll get to that. I think she's all piped up correctly now, though. Probably get by on a very, very small fuel tank. Where are the fuel tanks? Right. No? That's under resources. And let's see here, maneuver. What kind of maneuver do I want for this thing? Oh, hey, how's it going, Bob? I am also streaming this on the Discord if you want to hop into the voice chat and hang out while I'm doing this. Okay, yeah, just hop on in. You're more than welcome to do so. I think I'll come back to this. I want to think on it some more. But I do need to put in some PIDs. We we want to do propulsion pitch. And where is propulsion pitch? And we want this one to be propulsion roll, roll. And this guy over here. Let's make it propulsion vertical. And we'll go with altitude above waves. I'm probably going to use some... What channel is it under? It'll be down towards the bottom, Bob. Viz, why not both? You could have a time-lapse version so people that just want to see things getting built can watch that one, while people that want to learn can listen to you talk about the build in real time. I'll think about that. That's not a horrible idea. Let's see here. So I still need... How much ammo is this thing going to consume anyway? It's telling me 0, but I know that's horseshit. Let's see here. I want torpedo sonar. These are going to be some big honking torpedoes here, by the way. I think I'm going to go... Oh, I think I hear a Bob coming.
Hey, man.
Hey, Bob, what's going on?
I'm pretty good. Not much.
How you doing today?
Well, just woke up from a little nap. Us old people need naps every once in a while. But then I saw you were streaming, so I figured I'd check it out.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here. Hey, hi, James. How you doing? I just haven't done one of these in a long time. I thought it'd be fun to hop on here and do a Dominion and Dama build for people to watch. Saw your last video with the submarines. I was laughing pretty hard that the first thing that you came up against was a submarine with a pack on it. Oh, I would have been mad. That was just unlucky.
Yeah. Well, I took him out, so...
Oh, yeah. That's always good.
I took him out with a 22K submarine, so...
Yeah?
Kind of hard to argue with that.
What kind of torpedoes are those using? Just explosive, or are you using kind of a mixed bag there?
Explosive and EMP.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's why I found out that these guys are very susceptible to EMP, because everything I hit with EMP, it is pretty much fairly quickly is going to be AI dead. So
right. I should have a stream up there on the Discord. You could watch this in real time. I think YouTube lags like about 8 or 9 seconds behind. Yeah,
I'm watching it with the sound turned off on YouTube, and then
oh, okay.
The audio through the headphones.
Okay. You ever tried streaming? Oh, wait a minute. You had the you just got the internet upgrade. I just remembered.
Yeah, just recently. Yeah.
How's that been working out for you?
It's working out great. Yeah, every once in a while there's little glitches, but on the whole, really not. On the whole, it's pretty comparable to the cable I used to have when I was in the city.
Okay.
And actually, I got a camera now, so I could actually in theory, do streams with a face cam. Not that anyone wants to look at my homely face, but if they did, I'd be able to show it to them.
Well, there you go. Restoration.
Yeah, I think it really shocked me with the lightning, because it's how fast they are. They're just like,
yeah.
I get done with one, and then just suddenly something else is swooping in. So I may have to play more defensive on that.
Lightning hoods, they're a real hard one to start off with because of that reason. You need some very specialized weapons to be able to hit them. Oh shit, did I really? Oh my god. Okay, I fudged. Dama went and did a boo-boo.
Uh-oh.
That's nothing bad. I just had the wrong launch pads. I put the reversed on and I need the regular.
I may actually go and watch this closer to real time. So, how do I look at it through Discord?
I should be streaming it. Down there.
Let's see.
Yeah, you click on my name and there should be an option. Yeah, right click on my name and that should give you an option to view the stream.
Oh, okay, cool.
That working?
Yep.
Awesome. So how's Texas?
It's warm.
I'm sure.
It's very pleasant and green out, but it is a bit warm.
Yeah, the humidity up here in Missouri is kicking my ass.
Is this based on a historical submarine?
Actually, yes, it is. It's I believe, an art class, and it comes from about the time frame that I'm looking for in Dominion of Dama. Actually, hold on. I got a picture of it here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm trying to do semi-historical designs.
How are you handling the torpedoes? Because I would assume that sonar would not be a thing in this time period.
That's the thing. I can't get torpedoes to work without the sonar, so that's the only kind of guided weapon you're going to see in this, though.
Okay.
Yeah. I was kind of disappointed. If you like launch them from a turreted torpedo launcher, they work just fine. But if you try to launch them from like a torpedo tube, like a fixed mount, it doesn't work.
Oh wow.
It doesn't work very well at all. But if you ever come up with a good suggestion, I'll be more than happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you get my message about asking if you'd be interested in coming up with some flags for this?
I did not get it. Yeah, is that on the Discord?
Yeah, I sent it to you on Discord.
Yeah, I'd be very pleased.
Okay. Well, it's yours if you want it.
Okay.
The factions in this are based off of Germany, Austria-Hungary, the United States, Great Britain, Russia, or the Soviet Union, depending on what time you're wanting to look at. Gesundheit.
Excuse me.
So yeah, that's kind of what I'm
France
looking
one
at. Yes, France is one of them too. Thank you for being me.
Now, I'm not sure how great I'll be at making things look historic.
They don't have to be historic whatsoever. They just have to look like they are influenced, but not necessarily a part of it.
Okay.
Am I explaining this well enough? I'm not entirely sure.
That makes sense.
It like an American flag would look vaguely like one.
Not literally the late 19th century America or France or Germany or whatever. It's based on that. So the artwork can be inspired by that or flavored by that, but not necessarily. It's not the actual historic period. Right? It's a realm that is based on it.
You got it.
I gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do that, I'd be more than happy to have you.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see here. I need... No, that's not what I was looking for. So, object... I'm gonna try to make some opening doors for the torpedo launcher here in the front. That's kind of a pain in the ass to do, honestly.
That'd be kind of cool, though.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I wouldn't think it would be all that difficult. You just have to. Well, there's only one. There's only 1 meter in that middle part, and I think they at least historically anyway, they open the hinges on the inside, and so that might be a problem.
Yeah.
Although since the spin blocks don't do collision very precisely, you just have one on the bottom, one on the top, and have them overlap when they're open.
That's kind of what I'm going to try to do here. And then I'm just going to move this forward so I can see where it's going. Then I think if I go about right about there. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I need left and right positioning. So come over 1 meter like, oh, forward, right about there, and we left and right scale that up to 2. Alright, so if I did this right, and I kind of did, but yeah, it just kind of sticks through the other side, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it work like that. Huh, okay. We'll go with a plan B.
Could you do it with one of the like the metal plates?
Maybe, but plan B, I'm probably just going to grab like a piston and just have it move forward and backward.
Oh, okay.
But that's a way I've been doing it with some of the other submarines in this, but it's not going to work for this because this part right here is just way too narrow and it's just going to stick out the side.
That's a fine looking prow, though.
Oh, thank you. A lot of times when you're trying to build something historic or even semi-historic, you just kind of have to settle for what you can get in this.
Yeah.
It can be a bit disappointing sometimes. Okay, so I need... add some ACBs in this damn thing somewhere. How am I going to make this work? Maybe if I do something like that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's bump it up to 8. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I put it right about here, that should work. Objects. I don't have to move very far for this to work, so this might do the trick.
Pistons as permissive on clipping as the spin blocks are?
Beg your pardon?
Are the pistons as forgiving about clipping as the spin blocks are?
Actually, a little more so.
Oh, really?
Yes. The middle part of the piston, you can go straight through that with no problem.
Oh, wow.
At least that's what I've been told by a lot of people. Okay, so I need... just trying to think of how I want to do this. We'll try the metal slope again. And we're gonna move that forward all the way. Okay, so that didn't quite work how I wanted. Came out the bottom. Would it be up and down scale or positioning? I think. Yes, that definitely seems to be the case. Okay. Okay, so it must have gone backwards then. Where the hell is the decoration? This is weird, dude. I do not know where the hell it went to.
It's a Philadelphia experiment on a 19th century submarine.
Why is this? Allergies been bad there too? Mine were driving me crazy today.
I'm sorry, what?
Have your allergies been very bad too? Because mine have been
Not mine.
as hell.
Not giving me problems. Sometimes, for whatever weird reason, it doesn't even seem to have anything to do with what everyone else's allergies are. I just suddenly have allergy effects, but not today. I'm good today.
It's weird because I'm not even seeing the decoration moving around on this. There we go. Okay. I was right, it was the up and down positioning. Oh, just barely. Actually, I think that'll come out to about where I want it. Yeah, no. It gets a little screwy sometimes because when you're doing spin looks, because it messes up these yaw, pitch, and roll things.
Uh-huh.
Alright, and I can move that down to about yay, and are you gonna have another sneezing fit on us?
Me? It's a coughing fit. I'm a smoker, so.
Oh, okay. I used to be one too, but that shit was just getting way too expensive.
Well, I get this stuff off of an Indian reservation and roll it myself, so it's even worse for my lungs, but much better for my pocketbook.
Well, you get what you pay for in a lot of cases. That might be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's actually, chewing tobacco is more my thing. But that's just because you can do it anywhere, and as long as you got something to spit in, no one will ever know.
Yeah. Now, in terms of controlling the piston, there's no control in the game that would allow you to open it right before it fires, unless you could probably, if the torpedoes are set to a certain distance, then you could open it before it reaches that distance. But I guess you can't. I guess at least without breadboarding or something, you can't actually have it open just before it fires, right?
Actually, I was just going to have it tie into if there's enemy detected nearby, it was just going to pull those back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shoot, I just realized something. Okay. Resting extension. 2 meters. Oh no, don't tell me. Don't freaking tell me. Okay. I potentially might have a problem here. Camera's getting all wonky. Okay, let's try this shit again. Okay, so I think these are messing with that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which I'm just going to move these. Actually, right there probably wouldn't be a bad spot for them. I mean, they're mostly for aesthetics, so...
Yeah.
I just put them behind a periscope. There we go. And then I can... go into here and... I can lower this down to... That doesn't seem right. Oh, don't tell me. Okay. This may not work out as I'd hoped.
Is there a piston on the periscope? Is that what it's interfering with?
Yes, these are supposed to control the piston for the periscope. It's just on a like a one-axis turret down here, and then you have the piston block, and it's going to raise and lower this periscope, where it's got some detection equipment mounted on it.
Cool.
Yeah. You know, I think I could probably live with that. Not that piston up here. So yeah, fudge it. I think it still looks alright, but it would have been pretty cool to have these doors open and close, but that's okay. It still looks pretty cool. At least I think it does.
Yeah, it looks like almost like a historical submarine.
That's kind of the direction I was heading with it. Okay, so did I put some ammo in here? I believe I did. Yes, I did. Okay. I don't want it to like have a major blowout. That's why I'm kind of armoring it like I am. I'm sure you know what getting ammo wrecked in FTD is like. So.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. I probably need some resource storage. Probably nothing too crazy. No, I'm wondering if I should just like put like a little anti-aircraft gun here on the end. Though it'll probably be mostly for looks because this thing is going to be underwater.
Yeah.
We're like one of these dudes. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. Okay. So I guess now I'll probably need to do a float test. So Bob, have you tried doing like any ship builds, or you just been mostly messing around with the hydrofoils?
Well, I've been mostly doing submarine hydrofoils and airships. Ships always seem, well, one, they always seem to grow on me. They like, I start out like, well, I'll just make like a little destroyer or whatever. Then soon I gotta a big clunky battleship and not one that works very well. Mostly just been going with the stuff I know, which is submarines, hydrofoils, and airships. Um, Also, I guess um, I'm always trying to figure out how to do stuff uh, cheaper. So I guess
Nothing wrong with that.
that's sort of that way in real life. So I guess that sort of rubs off on me. So if I can figure out a way to do something relatively inexpensive that that takes down sizable craft, then I'm more inclined to do that. I mean, except for the airship. My airship get pretty big, but really not that big compared to a lot of people who have like million resource vessels. Um,
Those are quite common, honestly.
yeah.
My
I figure
looks
it's
like it's been in the way.
it's like real war. Uh, Having a great big white elephant sitting out there, unless it's really well defended, it's kind of it's kind of a target looking for a torpedo or missiles, or it's a big target, in other words.
I get that. But sometimes it's just big. It's just fun to go out there with your biggest stick that you could possibly make and just blow the shit out of everything.
Yeah. And I've tried to make I've been getting into rail guns, and I tried to make a ship with rail guns, but not really having anything that makes me happy. So it always seems to be weaker compared to how much I spend for it than I would like.
Railguns is one of those things where you kind of get what you pay for. By that I mean you have to dump a lot of resources into them to make them really shine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the parts are not cheap for starters.
No, they are not. Let's see here. I want some more ACBs, I think. And I need to come up here to altitude. We want to enable a fake point. So how'd you find building submarines? Have you done those before, or?
Yeah, I've done this before. Yeah, and for me, the real interesting discovery was that if you keep them small enough and far enough away from the enemy, that's sort of the real trick. Is that they're essentially unhittable. I mean,
yeah, they make a great force multiplier using them like that.
Yeah. And I've got a video in the can, haven't put it up yet, about making stealthy submarines.
Dell's Gaming did some work with that using rubber blocks.
I tried the rubber blocks, but I didn't seem to have any greater effect than I did with stone. And stone is stronger,
so stone is stronger. Sometimes what I like to do is I will build like the outer hull out of rubber, and I'll have like an inner hull that's built out of metal or heavy armor, just depending on what I'm wanting to do with it. That might be something you could try.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I go for larger submarines, yeah. The thing is, a larger submarine is easier to detect. Whereas these are really, beyond a certain distance, they are undetectable and unhittable. So that's always nice. The problem I had with the campaign is they got real close to me. So I may actually look towards making a very small submarine that's much faster, 50 meters a second or something like that. Of course, that's probably not going to help against lightning.
Hey, Cogular, how you doing? Cogular's a friend of mine from the Guild of Calamitous Intent Discord. So far, so good, you guess? Okay. I liked your video that you did about the hurricane. That was pretty cool. He was actually one of the first FTD veterans on the Guild of Calamitous Intent Discord. Yes, I really enjoyed that, Cogular. Good job on it. There's an enemy within. We want to go to. Where are the. Yeah, general purpose PID. Do you use PIDs for your submarines, or how do you control the depth with them?
Well, mostly control boxes, but occasionally um, I'll use a PID if I'm using up a propeller to set the depth.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually will use PIDs for that, and I can input into those with control boxes if I need to.
Okay.
Most of the time, I just use hydrofoils and control boxes. I have them to set to above this depth, point down, below that depth, point up. If it's in this range, you're good. Keep it level.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're about to hit the ground, point up.
Alright, so I'm going to test this to see how it does, or at least how it sinks. Lacogger says use common PIDs, then use ACBs to set the depths depending on circumstances. Yeah, if I remember right, Lacogger's made a couple of submarines. I think it was for Heistmeister's Quest for Neater, not too far back. Anyway, I'm going to just spawn in a crossbones here just for testing purposes. Oh, there she goes. Dive, dive, dive. Looks like she needs to come down a little bit more, though. And it looks like the periscope is not extending like it should be. Vehicle out. Why the frick do I have it set like that? No, I want that like 0, I guess. I did not click on that. No, no, no. I just want it to say 0. There we go. Vehicle altitude is not within. Okay. What if I change this to like...
How do you set the ands on that? Because I've often thought about, well, I need to have an and in this expression, but I didn't know how you actually set it to do and.
Oh, you just butt them up like this. Just have them like right next to each other. Yes, that was a pretty good submarine,
Okay, cool.
Cogular. I remember Heistmeister was very pleased with it. We'll set extension to... Here's an enemy within, blah, blah, blah. This submarine right here that I am working on right now, I am trying to see if I can make it work like a World War I submarine. At least that's the plan anyway. But I can't seem to get this thing to extend like I need it to. Try it again. Let's see here. Target. Range. Target. Moving parts. Pistons. Extension. Oh, now you work. Sometimes you just gotta kind of rip shit out and try it again, you know?
Yeah.
I think this guy could probably come down like maybe another 8 meters. Let's see how that works. Oh, it didn't change. Why aren't you changing? Did I go and
You're
set up?
getting hit.
Okay, I need to disable this ACB for the moment. I got God mode turned on for this. It's no big deal.
Okay, okay.
So let's try this at 18 meters. Make sure that periscope stays above the surface. It's actually, I think that's about perfect right there. What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we will have this guy set to 18 meters, and we will enable it. And I want to give this a low priority. And this guy over here, we want to give it a high priority. And let's see here. It's going to have ACB depth control, yes. What I plan on doing with this is when the enemy ship gets within probably like 1,500 meters of it, it's going to probably sink down to like maybe 50 meters, I think might be a good one. And yes, building small can be very difficult. It's just something that comes with experience. Let's see here. I need enemy range. Let's go 1,500 meters. And we'll go over here. And go to general purpose PID. We'll change the fake point value. We'll change this to, I think I want to do negative 30. 50 might be a bit much.
I always go with negative 70 on mine, but I don't know.
Looks like it needs some more ammo barrels. Imagine that. Is that enough? Or maybe I could something like that. Actually, what's the material use like on this? It's not telling me. Okay. Fair enough, I suppose.
It's a shame that there's no variable in the game that would tell you, say this weapon is within, 10 seconds or whatever of being reloaded, so that you could actually come up to periscope depth, fire off the torpedoes, then go back down.
And I was just kind of randomly shooting out there. Let's see here. I need to figure out what kind of maneuvers I want this thing to be able to make. I think hover movement might work for this. Or not. Nope, we want this thing to be able to control its depths with ACVs, not the AI. Let's try a different one then. Let's see what that does for us. Actually, I'm trying to get this thing to do like point at AI, because it's only going to be firing torpedoes from the front.
Is it on a bombing run, or is it, I guess it's on circle. I think it's on bombing run.
Actually, I didn't want to do this, but I have made this work pretty well with other craft. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't want you doing that. No, 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 no. Okay, doesn't like that. They don't have one turns. I don't want them to have one turns. Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I moved the date back for the King of the Skies tournament Cogular, because everyone seemed like they had like finals that they had to do, so yeah. I was able to pull this off with another submarine. I think I'm just going to do something else here. We'll get rid of that. And I think, yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. So I think, no, that's not what I wanted. 1,000 meters. We don't need it to pitch. Break off altitude, we're not even going to worry about that. Re-engage time, 30 seconds. And we're not going to worry about that crap. Just ignore it altogether. And let's see here. Maneuver, add maneuver. And it wants to go up to the surface. I don't want that. I got this to work in another submarine, but I can't remember how I did it now.
Do you still have the submarine around?
Yeah, I do. I just might copy and paste the settings from it. I was kind of hoping I could do it on camera for you guys to show you how I did it, but Dama has had a lot to drink and has slept quite a bit since then, so a little fuzzy at best. I keep getting those Cayman Jack margaritas from Walmart. They are amazing. Here we go. This little guy right here that I made for the Kingdom of Windsor faction. And where is the AI for this bitch? Okay. Oh, you talking about your entry for the competition there, Cogular? Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for my entry. Anyway, the configuration that I got it set up like right here, basically it's going to charge towards the target, then it's going to turn away and just kind of go around and around and around. That's kind of what this AI is set up to do. But this is like the British submarine for the custom campaign, and I have one for Eurogaria, which I'm thinking of changing the name of it. This faction here, I haven't really decided yet. This is actually the first submarine that I made for this custom campaign. It's even got a torpedo launcher here in the back. This thing's going a little lower than I'd prefer right now. I think that's because it's probably getting too close to the target. Might have to do some adjustment on these ACBs.
The other two look a lot more modern, but this one looks very cool.
This submarine was based off. Let me check the Wikipedia page I was looking at. If I could find the damn thing. Okay. This was built between 1917 and 1919.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. According to Wikipedia, anyway. Okay, so I'm going to need to turn off the particle effects to these. I think it just clipped another submarine there, but that's okay. Allow particle effects, spread to neighbors. I didn't really have a good way to mount a rudder on this thing, so I kind of had to settle for what I could get.
Yeah, rudders can be kind of tricky on submarines, seems like to me. It makes it tend to want to roll.
Yes, that's a problem that I've had with these. They all kind of have weird placement. Let's see here. I want to do something different with this, though. Okay, so let's lower this down to... What do I have the fake value set to? Okay, and I think I need to change the range on this. Let's go 800. That way if these ships like close in really tight on this, it'll try to dive deeper. At least that's the idea anyway. Doesn't seem like it wants to go back up though. I think I could, because I got it inverted. Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's what Dama wants to see. Yes, it does have some hydrofoils in the front. I'm not too sure if I want to rely too heavily on hydrofoils because they sound like they might be getting adjusted by the devs here, and I don't want to become too reliant on them for that reason. Actually, I probably need to do like, no. Actually, yeah, that's probably correct. The cones in front of the torpedoes for the sonar, it's like a 60-degree angle, so that's why I'm setting all these to 30. So in that way the torpedoes will only be fired when they're pointed directly at their target. No, they cannot leave stuff alone. That's, yeah. That's kind of been par for the course for like the last, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years it seems like now. And me and Kagula, we have our own grievances with the devs. I believe me and you discussed those a time or two, didn't we, Bob?
would imagine they would change the hydrofoils much, right? I mean, they would still keep them in the game, right?
From what I heard, the change that was going to happen was they're not going to be as responsive, I believe is what's going to be going on with them. So it might take more time for them to adjust to whatever the hell it is that they're doing. Well, if you find out, Cog, you let me know. I mean, oh, maybe they just expect us to use like thrusters instead? I have no idea. Anyway, I'm debating if I actually want to put some kind of shell into this gun, but I don't know. I think for what it's going to do, this is probably going to be fine. It doesn't really have to do all that much, to be frank. 16 meters a second seems kind of fast, though, for a submarine. That'd be like about, what, 32 miles an hour, give or take? This one here is doing 12.
If you're actually wanting to keep it within historical speeds, then you're talking probably like 6 miles an hour, you know?
Yeah, but I don't want to make them too painfully slow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the speed is for this British one over here. 15. I guess I could live with it being just a little bit faster. I don't know. But she is kind of a big girl, isn't she? And I need to set this up like a 2-second intervals. I usually I find that that's best with torpedoes to have like a 2-second intervals, so that way the explosions won't knock the other torpedoes off course.
On the stagger fire.
Yeah, with the stagger fire. But
about 0.2 or 2?
Just 2 seconds. Oh no. There is something that a lot of people I'm sure are going to bitch about is when using missiles in this. The IFF, that block is going to be removed entirely. So then that way people won't be tempted to do like a bunch of cheesy missile spam. So yeah, you're probably going to have some torpedoes running into friendlies, but that was kind of a problem back in the day, so I'm not too bothered by it. And let's put this ACB in here for some damn reason. I can't remember. Oh yeah, now I remember. Enemy range. If there are no enemies, let's see here. Let's go. PID. Set fake point, and it'll go to 0. And that'll just surface the boat. Or at least it should. Probably help if these were pusher presets as well. Gesundheit.
Oh, thank you.
You know what that means in German?
No.
It means health, or essentially, I wish you good health.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Do you ever do the thing with secondary drive to keep it from slowing down when it turns? I've been doing that on both airships and submarines because what'll happen is the AI is trying to pass. It'll go, "Nope, I guess I just got to slow down," which is not good when you're trying to avoid being killed.
Mm-hmm.
So I set it to the primary main drives to to also be secondary drives, and then I just have, if there's an enemy nearby, I just set the thrust all the way up.
I guess I haven't tried anything that fancy. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, well, I noticed that a lot of craft were slowing down to turn, and I was like, that's no bueno. So I just, both on the airships, the main drives on the airships and on the submarines, I set the main propulsion to secondary as well as pusher preset, and then have a PID control with ACBs, so that if there is an enemy nearby, the secondary drive is full up, so it'll always go full forward no matter what. And then if there isn't an enemy nearby, then it'll just be like normal.
Okay, so it only speeds up when there's a target present. Is that what I'm?
Yeah, when there's an enemy nearby. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That way, it's never slowing down to turn. It just I'll go full out, and then it has to compensate however it can compensate, but it's never slowing down.
No, that makes sense. I got what you're saying. I was gonna do something to this. Oh yeah, I was going to see here. Where is? I need to change the. Let's try 5 meters. I just want this thing to come up out of the water if there's nothing present, but that seems like that's not quite what I'm looking for right there. It just barely came up. Oh, that's not the right one. Let's see here. Let's try setting it 10. Still not quite there. $15. Might be a bit much. Let's try 12. There we go. I tried to make it a little smarter. Let's see here. I guess I could try painting this thing. Going back to my picture that I'm using here for reference to see what kind of paint job oh, okay. Looks like in this picture, like the top part of it's like a light gray and the bottom of it's kind of more like a charcoal. I think that'd look good. Oh, Cog, you know I'm a fan of APS too. Been for quite some time. I still need to put some decorations on this though, I think, real quick before I get too much further ahead of myself. Let's see here. Add new decoration. Dreadnoughts are very attractive ships, at least that's my opinion anyway. They just have a certain elegance that you don't really see in any other time period. Bob, how you like dreadnoughts?
I like them well enough. I have to confess that I'm more World War II era battleship in terms of aesthetics, anyway. But yeah, they're cool.
Well, here's the thing, though. Everyone and their dog is into the World War II kind of styling.
That's because it's cool.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying everyone does it. I gotta be different.
Yeah. My dad actually served on the Iowa back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. I actually got to see Iowa up close and personal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I got some pictures of me and James out there
I were more ambitious, I'd go look at some of the submarines that are the what the hell am I trying to say? Museum ships. Yeah.
Uh,
I'm not that ambitious.
there is one in Muskogee, Oklahoma called the
Yeah, I know
USS
about that one.
Batfish. Yeah, I've been there a
Is
couple
it?
of times as a kid.
Oh, cool.
All right, let's see. So I want to go with. I think I want to play with the alpha on this a little bit. No, I want that to be 67. Prick. Okay, doesn't look like it wants to do that, but that looks close enough for what I want to do. Like I was saying earlier, you just gotta kind of settle for what you can get in FTD. Fast battleships like Iowa and North Carolina are pretty cool, but there's something about the combined case speed, insanity, and number of turrets on that the Dreadnought era provides. Yeah, it's just like they have a bunch more guns. I mean, I understand that they are smaller, but there's just way more of them, and that's kind of one of the things that appeals to me. Actually, when I'm done painting this guy up, I could show you guys some of the newer stuff that I've been working on if you want.
Oh, cool.
At least until the wife comes in here and starts yelling at me for keeping her up late waiting on me. Thankfully, that doesn't happen very often. Actually, she's been very supportive.
Cool.
Especially with all that family drama that I've been telling you about. It's kind of crazy when you like your in-laws better than your flesh and blood, you know?
It happens.
Yeah, I've known other people in the same boat. I believe James told me something similar to that once. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, do you ever do any 7 Days to Die, Bob?
No,
Uh,
I saw you doing it, and Jim.
if you ever pick it up, you'd be welcome to join us. Jim's always looking to add more people to our 7 Days to Die crew, so
Okay.
just throwing it out there. Do with it what
Yep.
you will.
Yep. All right, now I've got so many games I don't even play.
I am in the same boat, friend. I'll have to send you a screenshot of how many I actually got. I'm sure it's well over 100 now. But I think,
Jeez.
yeah, there's a lot of people with that problem. I think Ion's got the even more than I do. From what I've seen. Smaller, less practical, etc. But come on, man, having like 20 barrels sticking out of the side of your boat from various points on your ship has a certain class. Yes. Actually, Cogular, you might be interested to know that I've actually came up with some casemate cram cannons. I'll show those guys. I'll show that off to you guys here after a little bit. I got to get this finished painted for right now. Let's see here. Which one of these is that I'm working on? I need to put a chair on this thing somewhere. Call me crazy, but the way it whips around like that makes me think I might need a yaw PID. What do you think, Bob?
It's probably okay. I haven't really taken a strong look at how it's jawing here.
It's whipping around pretty quick, but eh.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe just fewer yaw propellers. Okay, that would be a solution. It's got quite a few yaw propellers for the size of the ship.
You know, I might be able to dial back on those now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm lazy. But it just seems kind of funny to have a submarine that could turn on a dime like this. Let's see here. I think just wanted to paint this little bit down here. All right.
Oh, you replaced the propellers with the rudder. I didn't notice that.
Kinda, sorta. I'll explain here in a moment. I kind of want like a dark charcoal-y looking color for this, but not like completely black. There we go. I think that'll work. And I want to up that alpha a bit. Let's drop that down just a little bit more. Oh yeah, that'll work. Basically, I just took the rudder parts. They don't turn at all. It's just part of the aesthetics, more or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have the yaw propellers covered up with mimics now?
Yes, the yaw propellers are actually right in here.
Okay. Well, I noticed you had 4 of them. And it seemed like that was an awful lot for a relatively small craft.
You know what?
Maybe just subtracting a couple of those would help you with the extreme yaw.
Yeah, we could probably nuke like 3 of them and still be fine. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, it seems a little better. Oh, welcome back, Viz. We were just talking about some of my Dominion and Dama stuff and still working on the submarine. It's pretty close to being done, though. Oops. I forgot about the mirror line. But once I get this painted, I'm going to show you guys some of the newer things that I've been working on. The German faction, also known as the Gothic Reich, they're going to be almost exclusively using cram cannons, which Heitzmeister is very, very happy about. But I'm going to make it to where you unlock parts for the cram cannons in the campaign as you progress through it, so you don't like come up with some big badass cram battleship and just like own everything.
I noticed there was one of a Deepwater Guard. I guess it was a godly vessel that was running with crams, but they were so much better than I ever thought crams would be. I mean, they were fast. I was like, what the hell's going on with that?
Actually, I can explain some of that. Crams have gotten a speed buff not too long ago, which is what's going on with it, I believe. They travel up to 300 meters a second now. Okay, got that on color 6.
They were hitting my 100 meter a second airship. I was like, what the hell is up with that?
Color. Yeah, they're much faster now, like a third more faster. They used to travel up to like about 200 meters a second. Back when they had some RTS features in From the Depths, you could actually make them go a little bit faster, but they ripped those out, and it's been gone for quite a while now. Yeah, Cogular, how you liking the new crams? And it's not horrible. I kind of wish they would have done it sooner, but that was one of my biggest drawbacks, or one of my biggest hang-ups about crams, is that the shells move so insanely slow. And honestly, trying to dodge them at about 2,000 meters, it doesn't take all that much work. Fairly easy not to get hit by them, but now you can just like zap them out of the sky with either lambs or sea whiz, so they're not nearly as dangerous, unless you get like some kind of monstrous like doom cram going on. But oh yeah, Viz, Bob was asking me about the kind of torpedoes that I am using for the this campaign, and there's just a lot of instances where those torpedoes, if you do them with that sonar, they just will not work. The biggest example that I have is just trying to use them with aircraft. That has been a huge pain in the butt. Okay, well, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to call this little darling just yet. Let's see here. Just going to follow up with chat here real quick. Cogular says they're a lot of fun, pretty practical now too, not limited to like siege guns. I guess, yeah. Literally one key press and you can defeat an entire cram volley. That is very true if you know what you're doing. That's assuming the shell you're using is hardener pellets. Yeah, that's something that kind of annoys me. Is one of the people that bitched the most about his crams being shot out of the air. This guy was like literally crying on camera about it. All he had to do was just add some hardener pellets, and I don't think the lambs would have shot his crams down. Alright, I think this is pretty good here. I need to set up the local weapon controller, though. I don't want it shooting at anything over, I think 10 meters probably be fine. They make armor class of crams like stupid height. Yes, they can. Let's see here. Am I having particle effects coming off these? It looks like it. Having the ability to get rid of particle effects is one of the things that are one of the few things I do like about this version.
Now, is that just to decrease the lag on the computer, or?
No, it's because I usually like to hide my thrusters, and I don't like seeing particle trails coming out. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's a pretty decent little submarine there. Except we have one more important test to run. Yield Marauder. Except we're getting torpedoed by our own submarine over here, the Doken. But yes, this is the hallmark of every From the Depths build, is to kill or massacre a bunch of marauders. These are going to be some decent torpedoes. They're probably not going to do great against armor, but they're definitely going to sting a bit if they hit you. Alright. So the Dama Dog tradition, I usually name my stuff after heavy metal songs, but I'll have to come back to this guy, figure out what to name it.
You're not going with the UX German naming system?
What do you mean?
Like U-96 or whatever. So the submarine doesn't actually have a name. It has a
like you is such and such and such and such.
Yeah.
Number. Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually try to name the class of my ships after metal songs. The majority of them are mostly Sabaton. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would hope so. They're pretty good. All right, let's.
Yeah, I love their Audie Murphy one.
Oh yeah, I got to see them play that live in Dallas.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was great. Let's see here. I'll just put this here. We'll just save it as an American sub for right now, and I'll come back to naming it later. Would you guys like to see me put this guy in the workshop? I'd be perfectly fine with it. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see about trying to put this up in the workshop sometime
Yeah,
this week.
I assumed it was the German Reich one.
Oh, this one? This is the American one.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So let's double check to make sure I saved that. Yes, I did. Make sure that it's the correct place. Okay. We'll destroy all vehicles then. And this is a super dreadnought that I came up with for the German faction. And as you can see, just crams galore. These are all casemate crams that I developed.
Cool.
Well, let me kind of show you these crams here. What I did is I took the firing piece and I laid it on its side. Then I put an elevation barrel, so in that way they would have a very wide range of traverse going left to right. They got no elevation and their range is shit, but I'm perfectly fine with that because they're casemates. The barrels I had to do a little bit of work on to try to make them look like this, just like using some decoration fuckery to try to get them looking like that, but it works out very well.
You gotta learn more about crams because I always assume crams are shit, so I shouldn't bother doing anything with them. But obviously they're not completely shit now.
They used to be pretty shit back in the day, unless you were like in very close range, like within 2,000 meters.
Yeah,
but that's where crams shine, is a very, very close range.
Yeah. So back in the day, I never even bothered to learn them to speak of. My cram mortar submarine, I just copied and pasted from Borderwise.
For what?
For a cram mortar submarine.
Oh, okay. That's where you got the idea from?
Yeah, not the submarine part there, the cram mortar part. He had
okay.
One of his canoes with like a whole bunch of cram mortars on them.
Okay.
And really, it's almost more an enjoyment thing than it is a efficiency thing, because when they hit, they just unleash unholy hell. But they're mostly just good against like fixed installations, which that's also a useful thing to have.
Did you look at that video that I sent you from Bungalow Bill?
I don't remember that name. I must have. I don't remember.
He actually did something very interesting with a cram submarine.
Oh, cool.
What he did is he still has cram mortars in them, but he has them go right underneath the ship and then fire them upwards. So imagine if you get a pretty fast submarine, something that could do like a really fast strike. That thing would be amazing.
Huh. What I did was I just had the barrel sticking up above the surface, and as long as the tips of the barrels aren't underwater, and I had it very finely controlled, that it won't blow up on you. Now, was he doing something different for that?
Do what now?
Yeah, the one I made, it had crams with long barrels, and the barrels stick up above the surface of the water. The end of the barrel stick up above the surface of the water like a periscope. And as long as the crams shot underwater will tend to destroy themselves, but if you have the tip above the surface, it won't.
Oh no, these were just like maybe 3 or 4 meter long barrels. Actually, maybe just a little bit longer than that. But if you go right under an enemy ship and just shoot them directly upwards, you don't got to worry about accuracy at all. Which is, I imagine, the reason why he did that.
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of how these turrets came out, though. Just I did some decoration work here on the inside to make it look like you got some crew in here manning this.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Uh, these are the torpedoes that this thing uses. This is a destroyer that I made not too long back. It's going to fire 10 torpedoes at a time. It's pretty nasty.
Nice.
Let's see here. I got a Russian dreadnought that I finished not too long ago. I actually did like a 4-part series of this in like a time lapse. The hull is surprisingly very efficient though because, well, let me show you the engine here. This guy right here, I had like 3 boilers going on it at once, and this thing was hitting like about 29 meters a second when it was maxed out. I had to dial it back for the campaign, but it can hit a pretty good clip if you want it to.
Wow.
I still need to get this guy up on the workshop. I haven't had a chance yet. These are all 12-edge guns using 3-meter autoloaders. Nothing too scary. They will pen at least 1 layer of metal. Actually, Cogular, this is based off the Gangut, I believe is what it's called. I do have a pre-dreadnought one. I really like the paint job that I did on this.
Yeah, nice. I like the smokestack. Those are cool.
I find smokestacks are a really good place to hide some supplementary sensors if you know how to hide them. Then I just put like a decoration over them, and no one would ever know that they were there.
Cool.
So they're just like, I guess auxiliary sensor masts might be a way to describe them.
Yeah, that works.
The 4 turrets on the deck without super firing is a common Russian theme, ironically. Yes, it is. Then again, I think it was the Americans that finally jumped on the super firing bandwagon first, and then everyone started taking it up.
What is super firing?
Super firing is when you have one turret that's literally firing over the one in front of it, like this setup here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see here. What would be a good one to show off? Oh, I really liked how this one turned out. This is a Gothic Reich heavy cruiser. It's very loosely based off the Bismarck class heavy cruiser. Not to be confused with the battleship, mind you. This is a completely different style of ship, of course. And it's got all the cran casemates that I showed earlier, and it's actually got some very larger crams here on the fore and aft. But I think the hull turned out very, very good for it. Yeah, she's a little chunky. I should mention to you guys that all the, well, not all of them, but several of them are using the more simple weapons mod. So that might be something that people will need to get to be able to play this. It might turn a few people away, but I really like a lot of the weapons that they have in it. It gives you a little more variation of what kind of weapon systems you can have. What else do I have here? This guy I actually built on camera in like an 8-part series on how to build dreadnoughts. She's actually going to end up being the battle cruiser for the Gothic Reich. It's a pretty stout armor. I think it's like 5 meters. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's maybe 6 meters in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. The way I determined which one's going to be the battle cruiser is basically the capital ship that lost against the other one that I was contemplating being the battle cruiser, and I just made the loser just a little bit more faster to coincide with it. Ooh, I liked how this one turned out too. Well, Cogular, this is like very early 20th century stuff. I'm not entirely sure if torpedo bulges are that much of a thing. This is the light cruiser that I came up with. Mod Deuce wants to do like a black and white color scheme. I kind of gone with like a very, very dark green and kind of like a mint. I'm still debating on which one I want to settle for. Mod Deuce has been doing a lot of the decorative work on a lot of these ships. None of these right here in particular, but I still got to catch up with. Torpedo bulges existed in late World War II once they realizes that torpedo boats are very scary. Yeah. You don't say. Anyway, let's just clear the field here. Here's a Zeppelin bomber that I came up with. You'll probably think this is pretty cool. Let's get a couple of Marauders out there so you guys can see how it works. Yeah, a lot of the stuff in this campaign, Cogular, is like stuff from 1890 to 1920. So probably not going to see a whole lot of torpedo bulges.
And that looks quite futuristic in terms of airship
Seriously?
aesthetics. Yeah.
That thing just, I'm sorry, it just blew up. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
I guess it just accidentally shot itself. Funny, it's never done that before. I guess I'll just do a quick repair on it. I'm sorry, what were you saying there, Bob? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, but it looks relatively, even though it's an airship, relatively futuristic for the period.
Well, the Germans were bombing Great Britain with airships back then.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
It did it again? What the hell?
Oh Jesus!
It figures it has to do this on camera. Bastard. I might have to fix that. I'm not entirely sure what the hell's going on with it, but yeah. But these crams are no joke. I think I might have an idea what's going on with them. Okay, it works now. I think maybe the crams are getting cut up on the doors. That's never happened before. It's weird. She was at a pretty good clip, though. I think got it up to like 80 meters a second when it's going full speed on a bombing run. But yeah, just a big old cram bomber, more or less.
Oh, cool.
But wait, there's more. Let's see here. Ah, yeah. This is one that me and several other guys made on over like maybe 1 or 2 streams. This is supposed to be like a top secret project for the Gothic Reich.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I am Mark III, little Kari, and Heitzmeister all gave me a hand with this. I Mark III, he did the superstructure. He made these missile turrets. They just fired dumbfire rockets. Lokari, he did the back end of this propeller thing here. I did this a little bit with a piston to try to make it look like it was turning the propellers that had like this transmission area in it in here. And I made it to where it looks like these chains are supporting it, but the chains actually have a layer of alloy around them. So they'll take a few shots before you get through them entirely. Heitzmeister made these anti-aircraft guns. I believe it was Modus. He was working on the paint job a bit. Heitzmeister made these crams up here. I made these mains. Heitzmeister made these. I think me and Ion kind of tag teamed the hull a bit from what I can remember. Lokari made these turrets here on the bottom. The armor on it isn't that great, but you can't really expect it to have awesome armor because it's an airship. And heavy armor is not a thing in this campaign, I'm afraid. But armor on it is not exactly terrible, though. I mean, you still got to get through this, and then you got to get through the gas bag, and then you finally get into the actual hull itself. So it takes some doing to get all the way through all that. And this bit up here on top, these gas bags on the top part of it, that was pretty much all me. It needed just a little bit of supplementation for the power system, so I just stuck this engine in here. Space armor better than no armor? Yeah, I could see that. Airship and armor don't go in the same sentence. Yeah. Let's see here. Is there... Oh yeah, I came up with this French fighter plane not long ago.
Cool.
Yeah, it's loosely based on the same fighter plane that Rickenbacker flew in. Let me get rid of the... I thought for sure that plane was going to fly into it. As you can see, it's very, very French.
Just has simple guns on it?
No. Well, yes, and it's also got APS. Right in here. Cool. Yeah. Also, the French now have their own battle cruiser. Let's see here, battleship, and they have a super dreadnought class battleship. I actually put this one up on the workshop, but it didn't do so well. Not entirely sure why, but what you gonna do? But basically, these ships are just hacked up pieces of this one that I just kind of cut and pasted together.
I was thinking the aesthetic looks very consistent.
Do what?
I was thinking that the aesthetic looks very consistent.
That's kind of why I wanted to do it this way. That and these actually were proposal designs. They ever actually left the drawing board, from what I can recall. I think they turned out pretty good, though. And I got one more that I'm going to show off for you guys here, and I probably need to call it after that. This one right here is a French super pre-dreadnought. Look at that hot trumble home action I got going on.
Nice.
Yeah, probably going to be one of the more dangerous pre-dreadnoughts of the whole campaign. Though I think the German one that I'm going to be building here next, that's going to be very, very cram heavy and probably kick the shit out of this by the time it's done, honestly. I believe this is based off the Charles Martel class. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember off the top of my head. I need to put this one up on the workshop too. I actually did recorded a video of me building it. I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes. Actually, Bob, while I got you here, I want an opinion on you for something.
Yeah, sure.
Well, would you rather see my videos like still doing the time lapses, or do you think people would prefer them like being done in real time?
In real time. The thing is that build videos can have a tendency to get kind of like snoozy, so if anything, I would go for more compression and more focusing on the features that you're building rather than the mechanics of building them. So maybe we start on a new new subsystem or whatever, then you focus in on what exactly you're doing with that, not as much the mechanics of actually physically doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that there's a temptation or a tendency for it to get kind of snoozy. People will click away. But if you focus more on the on what you're actually doing with the subsystems, and then only showing the build parts that are related to that, that might be better, more edited. In other words, so I actually would tend more in the other direction, not showing everything in real time, but rather focusing in on the subsystems that you're making and what they do, and as you're building it, and not as much on the physical mechanics of building it. Because if you have like an hour long video of you just building stuff, that probably could get a little dull.
Okay, I'll definitely take that into consideration. Carolus Magnus Rex sounded like he might want to see me do a build in real time, and I wouldn't mind doing it. I just trying to figure out try to get some opinions, you know?
Well, that might be a real time build might be something good for a stream. Maybe not as much for a YouTube video.
Okay, you take care of the cogular. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
If in the YouTube videos you're focusing more on the purpose of what you're doing rather than the physical doing of it, and only have the physical doing of it as part of the showing people what you're doing, that he should be able to get the same educational value, but without the as much of the actual putting blocks down into place. You know.
Okay. I just kind of figured. I figured people would get the most of my videos if they could see what all I'm doing from start to finish. That was kind of my thinking with it.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that, but perhaps maybe for people who don't know anything about from the depths, then that probably would be better. For people who actually do know something about it, and that's probably most people at this point who are actually looking at from the depths videos are actually people who play the game, I would think. Then that's it's going to be probably longer than it needs to be.
Well, the way you're kind of describing it almost sounds like a Lathrixian more kind of a build video. Is that kind of what you're driving at?
Yeah. I mean, definitely the stuff he does works, you know. I wouldn't say anything bad about it, but yeah, focusing on the actual functions that you're putting in, not as much with the slapping blocks on blocks, you know.
Hmm. Okay, I will take that into consideration. Okay.
I guess probably for people who know nothing about from the nets, that maybe at least watching one or two videos where you do everything in real time would be useful. I doubt Carolinius is in that category, um, but um, uh, but probably it would be more have more interest per moment of video if you were talking about what you're doing and then only having the building that is connected with those things. So if you need to build to illustrate what exactly it is that you're doing, then maybe that would be one thing. But just that, ooh, he got
Yeah.
that. Yeah, if it's just, especially for more experienced viewers, if it's just putting blocks on blocks, probably not as gripping as it might be.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
No, that's okay. That's what I asked for. I just thought it'd be fun to have like a quick battle.
But yeah, cool.
But I think I've captured the time frame I'm going for pretty well.
Yeah, and they're like historical ships.
Semi-historical, yeah.
Semi-historical, yeah.
I know I said I was only going to do one more thing, but I just remembered something. Let's see here. I think it was under this guy.
Oh, what the hey?
It is a transport ship for the Austro-Hungarian faction in Dominion of Dama. They're called a Euro-Rogaria. I'm not completely sold on that name. I might change it, but these are destroyers escorting it, and they're all on sub vehicles.
Oh, they're all docked. Yeah.
Yeah, so whenever another vehicle spawns in, they'll all just break off and go and attack it.
Oh, that is very cool.
Yeah. But this thing is flimsy as hell. It's built almost entirely out of wood, but I mean, it's the first faction, or one of the first factions you'll be fighting against, so yeah, not a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that is very cool.
Had a hell of a time trying to get these paddle wheels painted, as you can imagine. But I'll just spawn in a quick marauder so you guys can see this in action, and we'll call it after that. Of course, this guy has a few weapons on it, but nothing crazy. Just like the, I think these are 93mm deck guns.
destroyers are pretty sharp looking too.
I'm not entirely sold on the looks, but they're okay.
I mean, I don't know if they look all that historical, but they look sharp. I like them.
Actually, it's mostly the bow. I'm not entirely certain if I want to stick with it or not, but other than that, I'm fine with them. But that was one of my biggest gripes about the From the Depths campaign is that none of the enemy resource convoys are ever escorted or protected in any way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the reasons why I was experimenting with this. But I got some factions that won't even have to worry about it because they'll have something crazy like this. That's that's for Gothic Reich. And oh, wait till you see the Jap. Yeah, that's a freighter. And this is the Japanese one. Japanese, they got like the biggest and fastest freighter. But yeah, that's all I've been working on here lately. Glad you were able to join us, Bob. It was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, glad to see what you're working on.
Well, you're always welcome to join me if I ever do this again. Just hop on in, chat, and say hi.
Okay, cool. I will.
At some point, if you want to try doing some multiplayer builds, I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here, folks. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you like what you've seen here today, please let me know with a like, comment, or even better, subscription. Have yourself a hell of a day, and keep your hammer high. Later, guys.
Adios.